This is Sleep Study Candidate Interview Series 8 of 12. Sitting across from me is David Savakis.
Yes.
Under consideration as candidate for Test Series 32A.
I thought this was supposed to be anonymous and confidential.
I can assure you that our studies are conducted with the utmost of discretion.
But you just used my name on camera.
You needn't concern yourself, David. This footage is purely for our own internal use while selecting candidates and won't be associated with the results of the study. I can assure you that it will be erased after the candidates have been chosen.
Oh.
Alice is 29 in good physical health and has signed our medical release and non-disclosure forms. Her paperwork is in order. Would you care for some coffee or a soft drink before we start, Alice?
No, thank you.
So what do you do for a living, Alice?
I'm an internal marketing executive for an advertising firm.
I see. And what does that entail, generally?
Basically, it's a supervisory position. I lead my team of creatives and generally try to keep them on task and practical. It can be kind of like herding cats.
Herding cats?
Yes. Sometimes it's difficult to keep them on task. And artists aren't always the most practical people.
And does this lack of practicality frustrate you?
No, not really. Well, maybe a little. I just feel responsible for them. Frankly, I don't know what they would do without me.
I see. Did the woman who recruited you explain the nature of the study?
She did. I believe she said it was some sort of new insomnia treatment.
Close, Alice. We're studying the effect of sleep deprivation on the human nervous system, particularly as it pertains to the perception of reality. It has been explained to you that this is a 3-month study?
Yes, Kathy did mention that. I assume that means I'll be sleeping in one of your labs?
Not quite. During phase 1, you'll be sleeping 6 out of every 24 hours at home and taking the pills that we give you. Every Friday, you'll come into the labs for testing so that we can calibrate your dosage.
Pills? What kind of pills?
Just something to help you stay awake.
What, like amphetamines? I don't want any speed.
Don't worry, Maria. We're mindful of the medications you're taking. These won't interact with your methadone in any significant way or show up on any drug screens.
I never said anything to Kathy about being in a methadone program.
Like I said, don't worry, Maria. While lying on your application is certainly grounds for termination, we have elected not to take that action at this time. Going forward, we do encourage your honesty, however, for your own safety and our accuracy. During phase 2, you'll be spending Friday nights in our labs. The rest of the week, you'll be sleeping on the schedule we set, wearing a monitoring device which we will supply you with to ensure that you're not napping during the day.
I'm not allowed to nap.
If the device detects you dozing during the day, it will administer a minute electrical shock to help you stay awake.
Whoa. You guys are going to be electrocuting me?
It's just a small shock, like a dog's obedience collar. Don't worry, David. It's for your own protection. If you sleep when you're not scheduled to, you'll be terminated and forfeit any pay owed you. It was all spelled out in the terms and conditions you agreed to when you signed up for the study, David.
Okay. Well, I guess I should have read the terms and conditions a little bit more carefully.
Yeah, I suppose so. Now, during phase 3, you'll be confined on site in our laboratory and under constant surveillance and deprived of sleep every other week.
For an entire month?
This was all covered in the release you signed, Alice.
Okay, but I don't know if I can stay awake for a whole week.
Don't worry. Falling asleep during phase 3 will not result in termination. Staff will be on hand to wake you again promptly.
Okay, but a month in my line of work is like an entire lifetime. I don't know if I can be away from my team that long.
You feel your team is incapable of doing their jobs without your direct supervision?
No, but I'd like to be involved in what they're doing.
So you obsessively micromanage.
I prefer to take a direct hand in things.
Well, I don't think I can just disappear from my life for an entire month.
Our records indicate you're currently unemployed, Maria, and have no outstanding social obligations.
What?
You have few social connections beyond your family, all of whom live on the West Coast. It's what makes you an ideal candidate and why you've advanced so far in the selection process.
Kathy never asked me anything about that.
We collect data on our prospective subjects from a variety of sources, Maria, not just the initial interviews and paperwork. We're quite thorough.
Well, I have a boyfriend.
In the hospital. He's being taken care of, though I imagine the corticosteroids he's on are a great deal more expensive than the methadone. How long do you suppose the county's insurance will continue to cover him?
I don't think I'm going to move forward with this.
Why not?
Because you're being inappropriately invasive. And because I don't want to be electrocuted or locked away in a lab for a month.
If you leave now, you'll forfeit any pay that's already been offered you, Mr. Savakis.
I'm sorry, but I'm not comfortable with any of this.
Does your wife know you're gay?
What?
Do they itch?
Itch.
Your scars, do they itch? Your wife, does she know you're gay? Our records indicate that you've worked very hard to keep your sexual preferences hidden, David.
Your records? How did you...
It's bad. It's real bad. The docs say his liver is shot, and with his history of substance abuse.
They don't want to waste a donor liver on someone who might ruin that one too.
Yeah. I suppose I can sort of see that, you know. I mean, never trust a junkie, right? But you know, he's been clean. He's really been clean. We both have for over a year. I mean, you know, people can change. We've changed. It's just the stupid system that there's no one to even talk to.
You can talk to me, Maria.
What can you do?
It is vital to our program that our subjects stay focused on the study and not distracted by external concerns. If getting your friend to the top of the waiting list is what it takes to keep you on board, then that's what it takes.
You can do that?
We can do a lot of things. We have a very thorough background investigative process, David. Research indicates you've tried very hard to keep your personal and professional lives separated. It would be a shame if a rash decision were to endanger such a careful division.
No.
I can assure you that your sexuality has no bearing on your suitability for this sleep study, David. We here at the Institute do not discriminate based on race, religion, gender, or sexual orientation.
This is blackmail. You're blackmailing me.
Your father-in-law got you that job, didn't he, David? Close friends with your direct supervisor.
Keep my wife's family out of all of this.
Seems like a harsh man. Must have been a difficult courtship.
What do you want from me?
November 3rd, 2006. Alice Robinson was admitted to St. Mary's in critical condition with 2 self-inflicted lacerations, 1 on each wrist.
You know what? You can't just do
Was this a cry for help, Alice? Did you go down the road or just cross the street?
Shut up. Just shut up. You can't know
On
this.
November 5th, following a psychiatric evaluation, you were committed to a state facility for observation and treatment, deemed a high suicide risk.
No. Can you stop this, please? Stop
I'm
rolling
sorry,
that.
Alice. I'm sorry. If that's what it says right here, see, high suicide risk.
You know what? I don't care. I don't have to stand here, and I don't have to listen to this.
Sit down, Alice.
Fine.
But you've gotten better since then, haven't you? Turned your life around. Got a new job in a fancy office. People have confidence in you, depend on you. They see you as the queen bitch of the office, don't they? You're the one in control. You're the one who's powerful and in charge. None of your subordinates have any idea that it's just a facade. None of them know that. And underneath it all is a sad, scared little girl who goes to bed with the light on and cries herself to sleep every night. They think that mask of composure you wear is the real you, don't they? Don't they?
Yes.
And that's all that keeps you going. All that keeps you from stepping off the train platform or taking a whole bottle of pills or cutting your wrists again. And all it would take to shatter that safe little world is the release of that simple medical report.
You can't. You can't do that.
Why not? You're looking a little pale, David. Would you care for a bottle of water?
Fuck you.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you repeat it more clearly, this time for the benefit of the camera?
Fine. I'll do the fucking study.
Excellent. This concludes candidate interview for David Savakis, subject date of 12 on September 18th, 2011.